So we'll take it a step at a time and play the best players.
Yeah. And then just following up on that, with Thomas, I know his numbers weren't great. He did move the ball 5 times or for 5 first downs running and by penalty. Did you guys feel like when you rewatched his performance on film, maybe he played better than you might have initially thought?
Defensively, I think that's certainly true. They were really close to the position that they were supposed to be, if not on position. And we have to tackle more aggressively. And then offensively, we have to start fast. I mean, it's pretty simple. We come ready to play, but we didn't get off to a fast start. And 3 of our first 5 possessions were turnovers, and you can never win a game versus anybody that's worth a dang if you're giving them 3 opportunities at the ball. I mean, they scored 14 points at one point, and I think 21 off of those turnovers.
But specifically, Thomas, on that question.
Specifically comment on what question?
Sorry, specifically on Thomas. Did you feel like he played better maybe than you initially thought?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the defense played, in my opinion, significantly better than they had in the past, and I think our offensive unit, got off to a nice start. It just we just turned the ball over, and if you turn the ball over, you'll never. So, do I think they play better? Do I think they'll play better? Yes.
Les, when you watch the film of the Coastal Carolina game, what led to some of the struggles with the offensive line?
Well, the opportunity to throw, we got behind on the chains in the game. We needed time, and so the opponent knew that we were throwing the football, and we were, and they became a little bit more difficult to protect. And that protection is not only offensive line; it's as a team, could be that back that needs to step up and take on a guy in the inline area.
And what do you like about Earl Bostic, and what do you think he still needs to get better at?
Well, I think Earl's going to be a very good pass protector. I think he needs to learn to hunker down and really come off the football at times. And but I think he'll develop and turn into being a very, very capable lineman. He's 6'5" or 6, 300 plus pounds, and runs like he was a tight end. So I think Earl Bostic will eventually be a very fine player.
And defensively, how important is it for you guys to improve your TFL numbers, and how exactly can you go about doing that?
Well, we spent some time in last week in what was the bye week teaching tackling, and I think our guys certainly were for that. They understood the opportunity that was in front of them to really improve, and I think our TFL numbers will certainly improve, but I think they had the cooperation of the team as well.
Hey Les, with Baylor just getting their game with Houston postponed, just how worried are you guys about the ability to play this week?
Well, the key piece certainly is the testing and making sure that that your team doesn't have to put itself at risk in any way. But I'm sure that those decisions will be made and done correctly. I do not know the percentages of whether we'll play this weekend or not. I do recognize the difficulty that a team can have trying to put a healthy group on the field. We're going to spend our time preparing to play that group, and we're not going to really spend our time in a looking to the perimeter. We're gonna really kind of focus on the team that we're about to play.
Do you have a timeline for like when you're expecting to maybe get some updates or have a real better idea about the game?
Well, I honestly, don't know what those timelines would be. And I know this, that we'll all take a test on Thursday, and sometime Friday, or sometimes Thursday night, we'll have the test results, and I'm sure they will as well. And as long as they communicate effectively, this is a partner. This is one of our conference schools, and we want to make sure that everything happens positively as best we can for both Baylor and this Kansas team.
Obviously, you guys are about to play a team that hasn't played a game yet this year. Just what all goes into preparing for a conference game against a team that hasn't actually played since last season, and obviously they have a new staff in place too?
Well, special teams, you kind of start there and making sure that you're, that you can kick and hold and receive the ball and run the ball thereafter. And to me, special teams is a place to start. I think the offensive side, will definitely continue to grow, and I think they have to turn into a group that is proficient and capable, and without a game to have tried and practiced your special teams, your offense, your defense, you end up with a real issue, and at times, and certainly we want to play, and we look forward to seeing Baylor at Baylor.
Yeah, and is there anything different you and your staff have to do prepping for this game, just because Baylor has a new staff in place and they haven't played since last year?
Yeah, we're looking at where people came from, and that was more of the Dave Aranda and I coached together while we were at LSU. I think it's Ron Roberts is the coordinator at the last place, and so we went to the last place, and we found that they had the style of play that he is used to putting on the field, and we're seeing all the outliers that we can find, and feel that we feel comfortable that we're in position to play this game in terms of strategically.
Are you planning on giving Corian Harris a lot of snaps on Saturday?
Depends on how this week goes. If this week is as we would expect it to be, then he'll do he'll get a bunch of extra reps, and we'll like it, and he'll step to the field.
And with a couple guys nicked up, Jacoby Lott and Puka, how are they doing?
Yeah, it seems to me to be doing pretty good. Puka moves quickly, and it looks like Jacoby Lott. I think both of those two will see the field.
Hey, is Coach Harris at safety now instead of corner? I think that's what I saw on one of the lists you guys put out.
Corian Harris, is he at safety as opposed to being at corner? Is that what your question?
Yeah, correct.
I think safety becomes the easier place to enter, and I think we're better at corner than when Corian left. So I think that's likely that he'll start in there at safety, and give us another coverage hand at that spot.
Did he practice all last week, and what did you see out of him?
Practiced last week, not all last week, and it looked like he was a little rusty, but after another week of practice, we think we'll have him ready.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned that Puka was going to see the field on Saturday. Is that a full go, or do you expect someone like Dalton Gardner?
Yeah, I'm not predicting the future, but I can tell you that he had a smile on his face and he's moving quickly. So I take that to mean that he'll be ready.
And I guess with that, what did you see from Dalton Gardner, I guess, in the previous game? And do you expect more from him as the season goes on?
Yeah, I think Felton is a back that's really just scratching the surface of his potential, and I think he's looking forward to playing. And I think he's youthful, but I think he's just tremendously talented, and so I expect a lot out of him. I think he'll be a really good player for us for quite some time.
Hey, Lex. This is probably a preseason question, but now that you're in it and you've had a chance to catch your breath, I figured I'd ask it anyway. Just curious what you're going to look at in terms of gauging progress this year, not necessarily week to week, but more from, what you guys got accomplished last year to what you get accomplished by the end of this year. What will you kind of use as your markers for evaluating your progress?
You know what? I think there's I think that's a difficult position to be in. What we want to do is we want to continue to improve. We want to take the team that we have now and make them better. We're going to want to go to the field and play more aggressively with greater physicality. I mean, and as we get through game one, then we get through game two, we're seeing the opportunity to step in and make changes, and that's what we'll do. So I don't know that I've set any markers for improvement. I can tell you that we want to win, and I can tell you that this team will play hard and work to win. So.
Hey,
Coach,
go ahead, Kevin.
with this being the first time that Kansas had traveled, obviously during the pandemic, has anything changed as far as the itinerary on maybe when you leave or how you leave? But will it be the same, or is it going to be quite a bit different too?
Well, I don't know. This, if you're talking about what we did at Coastal Carolina, that was kind of a local trip, and we bust in, bust out. Taking a trip by air, they say has become much more safe and easy to do. And so I don't. The only one that's traveled recently, and it's been my family, and they've enjoyed the experience. And there's social distancing, and there's make sure you have your mask on, and that doesn't go away. And but I think our guys are looking forward to playing, and we understand that those sacrifices must be made.
Les, last year Stephon Robinson averaged over 16 yards a catch. What makes him so effective as a deep threat, and I guess how does he help your offense?
Stephon is he's the leader, and he's a very fine player. He's a guy that will step on the field and give you what is needed to help his team prepare. And I just last year he jumped in a number of spots, and Stephon is a leader, very, very quality player, and a guy that has great ambition, wants to win, and I think that'll be how he travels.
And how much better can your wide receivers unit play after week one?
How I would look at wide receiver play after week one?
How much better can that unit play? Seems like they contributed to a couple turnovers.
Yeah, I think there's I think that the wide receiver group in whole will improve, and what percentage I don't know. Let's say there was an old coach that said that after your first game you gain 20% going into your second game, and I believe that old coach because that old coach was my old coach, and so I like the idea that we're getting better and that we'll have a chance to improve and that we've been through a game and we can work on those things that are not subpar.
Hey, Les, I had a couple recruiting questions. Number one, how has the whole Zoom recruiting worked for you? And then number two, with the NCAA extending the dead period to January 1st, how weird is it to think you could sign guys in that early period without ever having seen them on campus?
The having them on campus is it would seem to me to be, awfully important so that they could comfortably make the decision. I can tell you this, that we're recruiting extremely well. I think our guys that they get on campus with our phone, our phones walked around in the building, and it seems to work. It seems to facilitate communications. It just does. And the Zoom calls are they're just not real exciting. Okay. And you're looking at a group, like I'm looking at you guys now. If somebody picks their nose or, if somebody's eating a sandwich, I mean, it can be, unusual at best. And so, I'm not that big on Zoom, but it seems to work. It seems to allow us the opportunity to communicate, and we have fun. And I think we're attractive to the local athletes in this region.
Hey, Les, I want to ask you real quickly about Tacolve Williams. He had I think he contributed 6 or 7 catches in the opener, and he's starting to become more involved in the offense. Just what do you think of his play in the opener, and what can he give you guys?
Give me the name first.
Oh, Tacolve or TK Williams?
Oh, TK, yeah, Tacolve. TK is a tough, hard-nosed guy. He's going to be a leader, and because that's just who he is, and he will continue to do those things. He'll be productive. He'll step in the line of scrimmage and want to play. He's physical, so we like him. We really do. He's special.
You got time for one more question for Coach?
Hey, Coach, I was wondering if after the way the game played out, leading up to Coastal Carolina stars like Puka had said that we've rescheduled them for a reason. I was wondering if after the way the game played out that it was kind of a wake-up call for the team.
Yeah, I think there's no question that this team wants to play its best football against the more quality opponents, and I think that all the Coastal Carolina did was point us at Baylor with a need to play better.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.